All right, so are you ready to dive into something kind of interesting today?
Absolutely.
Okay, so we're going to be looking at Mel Robbins's let them theory. And this is all about letting go of trying to control everyone else and how that can just bring you so much peace, less stress, better boundaries, more confidence, all from those two little words, let them. Who wouldn't want that, right?
Yeah, pretty intriguing.
I mean, just think about it for a sec. All those little everyday things that bug you, that coworker who just drives you crazy, or that one family member who doesn't get you. Like, what if there's a better way to deal with that?
Well, and you know what's so interesting about this is it's like the opposite of what we naturally want to do.
Right.
We always want to jump in and fix things and make people see it our way.
Make them understand.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but this is like flipping the script.
Yeah.
What if you just let them be?
It almost sounds too good to be true. Like, is it really that simple? So let's break it down. What does it actually mean when we say let them? Like in those moments when someone's pushing your buttons?
Well, it comes down to realizing that you can't control other people.
Right.
You can't control their actions or choices.
Right.
And they're going to do what they want to do, no matter how hard you try to convince them otherwise.
So instead of getting all worked up,
Mhm.
trying to make them see your side, you just sort of accept it.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
It's about consciously deciding to let go of that need to control the situation or the person.
So like with that coworker who's always taking credit for your ideas, you're saying just let them take the credit.
Well, it's not that you're saying what they're doing is okay.
Right.
It's more that you're recognizing that their actions are their problem,
Okay.
not yours.
Okay.
And when you let go of that need to control them, you free yourself from all the resentment and frustration.
You know what? That makes me think. Is letting go actually a way of taking back your own power in a way?
Oh, absolutely. When you're not wasting your energy trying to change people, you can use that energy for things you can control,
Right.
like how you react to the choices you make.
So now we get the idea. Let's look at the psychology of why this works. Mel Robbins talks about 4 main reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And these really get to the core of why this let them thing can work.
Yeah.
It's not just about feeling better in the moment. It's about being mentally healthier overall.
Okay. Lay it on me. What are those 4 points?
Okay, so the first one is all about accepting reality. People are going to do what they want.
Okay.
As much as we wish we could control other people, the truth is we can't.
Right.
And trying to force someone to change usually just makes them resist even more.
I can see that. It's like trying to push a river upstream. You're just going to get tired.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So by accepting that, you get rid of a lot of stress and anxiety.
Mm.
Which brings us to point number 2, freedom from emotional labor.
Okay.
Think about how much time we spend trying to figure out why people do what they do, trying to get them to see our point of view.
It's exhausting.
It really is.
It's like carrying around this invisible backpack full of everyone else's problems.
Yes, and let them is like setting that backpack down. You're not responsible for their choices, their feelings, or their actions. It's a relief.
Okay, but doesn't this sound a little passive? What about setting boundaries, standing up for yourself?
That's a really good question.
Okay.
And that takes us to point number 3, healthy boundaries. Let them is not about being a doormat.
Okay.
It's actually about having good boundaries.
Yeah.
Because you understand where your responsibility ends and theirs begins.
I see.
You can still speak up for yourself, tell people what you need,
Yeah.
and walk away from situations that aren't good for you.
So it's more like choosing your battles,
Exactly.
focusing on what you can actually control, which is yourself.
Right.
Your actions, your reactions.
Exactly.
Your
And this all ties into point number 4, which is about self-worth and confidence. When you let go of trying to control other people, you also let go of needing their approval.
Okay.
You realize that you're worthy, no matter what other people think or do.
So by letting go of that need to please everyone, we actually become more confident in ourselves.
I like that.
Hey.
It's about shifting your focus from needing validation from others to validating yourself.
Yeah.
You decide what you're worth based on your values, what you do, and who you are. And that's really powerful.
Okay, I'm starting to see how this all fits together, but
Yeah.
how does this work in real life? I mean, it's easy to say, let them. But what about when we're dealing with real people and situations? The source actually gives some pretty interesting examples.
It does.
Right.
Like, let's say you've got a friend who always cancels plans or just isn't putting in as much effort as you are.
Oh, yeah. Been there.
That can really hurt.
Yeah. Like you start to wonder if they even care about the friendship,
Right.
You get resentful.
Yeah, instead of getting stuck in that cycle of trying to change them or fix things, let them more. Theory says take a step back
Yeah.
and ask yourself what you really need in a friendship.
So you're saying, like, figure out your own needs and don't settle for less.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
it doesn't mean you have to just end the friendship.
Right.
It's about letting go of the expectation that they're going to change.
Okay.
You can still care about them, but you're not responsible for what they do.
It's like you're letting go of all that extra baggage, you know?
Yeah.
That makes sense. But what about at work? Like, some things are harder to just let go of. Like, when someone takes credit for your ideas, that's not just annoying, it affects your career.
Absolutely. And in those situations, let them doesn't mean you just sit there and take it.
Okay.
It's about shifting your focus. Instead of trying to control what they do, you focus on yourself,
Okay.
what you can control.
So instead of getting caught up in office drama and trying to prove yourself, you just focus on doing good work and maybe look for other opportunities where people will appreciate you.
Exactly. It's like playing the long game.
Uh-huh.
You can't control if your coworker is going to give you credit, but you can control how well you do your job.
Right.
And in the end, that'll show.
So basically, you're rising above it and focusing on what actually matters, which
Yeah.
is your own career.
Right. It's much more empowering than getting stuck in resentment. You're putting your energy into something that will actually help you.
Okay.
Now, family. That can be one of the hardest places to use let them.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about it.
Because, well, it's family.
It doesn't matter how old you get. Their opinion still matters, you know?
Right.
Like, when it comes to big decisions, career stuff, life choices, you still want them to be happy for you.
It's natural to want your family's support.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes what they want for you and what you want for yourself, they don't match.
Yeah.
And that's where let them can really help. You can acknowledge what they think without letting it control your choices.
So it's okay to disagree with your family. Set boundaries, even if it causes a little tension.
It's about being true to yourself
Okay.
and living a life that feels right for you, even if it's not what everyone else expects. You don't need their permission to be happy.
That's a powerful message, especially for people who feel a lot of pressure from their family. But you know, it's not just real-life relationships that can be tough. Social media is a whole other thing. You're constantly being judged. And it's easy to get caught up in needing people to like you.
Social media can really make you crave that validation from other people. And there's so much negativity.
Oh, right.
But let them helps with that too.
So how does let them work online?
Well, it's about recognizing that you can't control what people say about you online.
Okay.
You can't make everyone happy, and if you try, it'll just drain you.
So like if someone leaves a mean comment or unfollows you because they don't agree with you, you just let them.
Exactly. What they do is a reflection of them, not you.
Right.
Their opinion doesn't change your worth.
Right.
And when you let go of trying to control how they react, you're taking back your power in a place where it's easy to feel powerless.
So you're like taking control of your own story and
Yeah.
not letting the negativity get to you.
Yeah.
Okay, but before we go on, I think it's important to be clear about what let them is not. It's not about being passive or just putting up with bad behavior.
Right.
Yeah, it's more like you're taking a stand for yourself
Exactly.
and realizing you deserve to be treated with respect.
It's about choosing your own well-being
Yeah.
and
Which-
setting those boundaries. If someone's always treating you badly, you have every right to walk away. You have to protect yourself.
It's about choosing yourself and choosing your own peace of mind. But I think it's important to say that let them doesn't mean you just stop caring about people.
Of course not. You can still care deeply about someone, but you have to accept that you can't force them to change. You can be there for them. You can tell them how you feel, but ultimately it's their choice.
You're respecting that they get to make their own choices. Everyone has their own journey, right?
Exactly.
And this isn't about giving up on things you want in life.
No, not at all. It's
Okay.
actually the opposite. When you let go of the things you can't control, you have more energy for the things you can control, like going after what you want and achieving your goals.
So instead of getting hung up on trying to change people or get their approval, you can put that energy into actually making things happen.
Exactly.
Huh.
And you know what's really interesting? Sometimes when you let go of needing to control everything, you actually make room for things to happen in ways you never expected.
Wait, so you're saying by surrendering control, we open ourselves up to new possibilities.
Think about it. When you're trying to micromanage every little thing, you're limiting what can happen.
Okay, yeah.
But when you loosen your grip and let things unfold naturally, you create space for the unexpected. Things might even turn out better than you imagined.
Like planting a seed. And then just letting it grow in its own time.
Exactly.
I like that.
It makes me wonder, if we really embrace this let them idea, could it actually help us reach our goals more effectively?
Now that you mention it, it's like
Right.
maybe by letting go of needing things to be a certain way, we become more adaptable, more
Wow.
resourceful, and that could actually lead to more success. It's definitely possible when you're not so attached to a specific outcome. You're more open to trying different things. You
Yeah.
become more flexible, more resilient.
Like you can roll with the punches.
Exactly.
And that's got to be helpful in life, right?
It
With all
is.
its ups and downs.
Absolutely.
Okay, so as we wrap up our deep dive into Mel Robbins' Let Them theory, we want to leave you with this. What if you really tried letting go of the need to control everyone around you and instead focused on finding your own peace,
Yeah,
your own strength, your own sense of who you are? It's something to think about.
definitely. We encourage you to give it a try. See how it feels to incorporate, let them into your everyday life. You might be surprised by how much it changes things.
Yeah. And that's it for today's deep dive. Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep letting go of the things that aren't serving you.